This is Jamie's podcast from jamieoliver.com. Here's what's coming up in the next half hour.
What would you say as an Italian if I was to say the Chinese think they invented the pasta?
Say again, please.
I've seen chocolate pasta where they add a little bit of cocoa powder in with the flour.
So Paul, Mr. Wineman,
Yes.
what are we going to serve with a nice pasta? What we got here?
For you and Gennaro and the hordes here, we've got some...
The hordes or the
hordes? Hordes.
I get the sense that wholemeal pasta is a dirty word.
We're going to go and do a bit of cooking now. I want to challenge Gennaro Contaldo, and you think that you can make pesto in how long?
1 minute.
Yay! Let's go. Right, okay. Welcome everyone to the first podcast at Mission Control in London. We're going to be talking about all sorts of things. We've got phone calls from our lovely listeners, internet explorers, website regulars.
Yeah, we've been taking lots of calls on the podcast hotline. People have been leaving their questions for you on the answer machine thingy there, so we'll be listening to a couple of those later.
Beautiful. I'm going to introduce the room. My name's Jamie Oliver. I'm from Essex. To my left is...
Gennaro Contaldo.
Have we not got a little bit of a problem there? Because when I said, hi, I'm Jamie Oliver, it was totally silent. Does that reflect the mood in the office at the moment?
All right, all together now. Say again.
Hi guys, my name's Jamie Oliver. Slightly over the top, but I like it. Okay, so we've got Gennaro Contaldo on my left, my London dad. No, I haven't finished. No, let me big you up first, please. Right, my London dad, my mentor, my inspiration, and my best friend. Gennaro is here today to give us as much worldly information because we're going to focus on pasta today, Italian food, pasta, and we're going to do that each podcast, sort of focus on a sort of subject. So you're here for that, aren't you, Gennaro?
All over the world, all over the place, underground, on a mountain, on a bottom, on the sea. I'm here to answer.
To interrupt that, Gennaro does have a slight problem with verbal diarrhea, so I've got a stopwatch, and we're going to be asking opinions and questions to Gennaro throughout the whole show, but he's only allowed 30 seconds to answer it. Joke. Right, who else we got in the room? We've got Paul. Paul, introduce yourself. Big Paul.
I'm Paul Green. I'm Matt's bitch, if you know Matt.
Lovely.
So all over. I'm from South London, a little place called Melbourne. So I'm here to bring wine
Melbourne
into the
in
room.
South London?
Yeah, it's about as south as you'll get. So I'm here providing wine. Is that correct?
Yeah, you.
Fantastic.
Paul is one of our fantastic sommeliers, which means that how would you translate the word sommelier, which is quite a pretentious French word, really.
Just say wine waiter, and Pacific translation is way too long, but we'll just say wine waiter.
Wine waiter,
Yeah.
Lovely. Paul is so much more than that. And then over here we've got the gang. Introduce yourself, Tiger.
I'm Muriel, and I'm on work experience, helping out with the audio technical side of stuff.
Yes.
Well done.
She's one of the ingredients to make us sound good. And then next to you,
the other ingredient to make it sound good, which is Dan, and I'm sorting out the sound on the mixer.
lovely. And then Bob Fear, anyone that's on the website a lot, Bob Fear is a mission control genius, prodigy behind the keyboard controlling the whole website. Bob, nice one.
Thank you, it's very nice to be here. Thank you, Jamie.
I know, it's a pleasure. And then over on my far right, for all the website people, you also know Dr. Know-It-All. That's probably not the best thing to do, is it? But yeah, he is Dr. Know-It-All. He knows everything, doesn't he? He's a professor. Peter Begg, everyone. So should we get on with it, guys? Give us a short précis of the history of pasta, Gennaro.
Well, according to everyone, they think of Cristoforo Colombo was the first man who brought the pasta in England.
Rewind. Who the hell is Cristoforo Colombo?
I fully agree with you. Cristoforo Colombo discovered America, but actually discovered India and China. It went all over the world. Cristoforo Columbus. But everybody...
Because Colombo was that geezer on telly, wasn't he? He was that American...
I used to love him.
He was like a...
I was good. It was fantastic, Colombo, but was not the Colombo who traveled around the world. The pasta, is so old. The first pasta the Romans made it, called it to history, it was called lagane. Really? Now they call them a lasagne. It was a flat pasta mix, bit of flour, bit of water. That's what I used to do. It. Pasta with fruit, pasta with wild boar or vegetable, wherever. This is what the history of the pasta is. They discovered in Tuscany, the Etruscans, they find some drawing in Roman houses then drawing of a kind of making pasta, almost like the Chinese and Italian, cutting pasta. Lift up.
Yeah, because I was going to mention that, because obviously you're a hot-blooded Neapolitan man, but what would you say as an Italian if I was to say, actually, the Chinese think they invented the pasta?
Say again, please.
What would you say if I said the Chinese think they invented the pasta?
Well, if they invented, Chinese invented the pasta, the Italian must have invented an aeroplane as well to bring the pasta from Italy to China.
Right. So, okay, give me a quick précis. I mean, pasta. Where do we start? I mean, we got flour.
Flour, you can make so many different quality of pasta, Fresh pasta is very good, but doesn't mean it's better than dry pasta. Fresh pasta is romantic. You can do yourself. It's ever so easy. It's nice. You're working on it. Bit of water, flour, mix all together. Then you cut it by the hands, or you with a knife, or with a machine. You have a lovely pasta. To do for 2 people, fresh pasta, 1 egg, 100 grams of flour, mix all together, knead in properly, spread out, blow underneath to make sure they're thin enough, cut it, bang, straight in the water, come up after 30 seconds, come up, put a bit of butter on it, it's cooked.
So we got the pasta, we got the dried, we got the fresh. Obviously, there's a lot of rules in Italy, and actually they all get broken quite a lot. But generally, fresh pasta is a northern Italian sort of speciality, generally, isn't it?
Yeah, generally it is. It is. Pasta is Neapolitan.
Okay, when I say generally, I mean there's.
The macaroni was invented in Italy, and the macaroni was in Naples.
You're like a politician. You're avoiding the question.
Yeah, you tell me.
No, what I mean is, I was always led to believe, and certainly when I've travelled around Italy, I get more fresh pasta. More quantity of recipes made out of egg pasta, fresh pasta, raviolis, tortellinis, all that sort of stuff. More north. And then south, you tend to get more variety of dried pasta.
More variety of dry pasta. Also in south.
Do you agree with that? Or
Yes, I fully agreed with it. You see, north, you're right. They use eggs. Egg, they're fantastic for all the pasta they make. The south, they're more natural. They use natural water and flour, because they don't want actually to have a bulky, a heavy pasta. They're more gentile.
On pasta, I'm going to talk to my mate Pete, because Pete, you've been doing a lot of research on sort of different flours used in pasta. I mean, a lot of people around the world buy their pasta, really. Not so many make it themselves, do they? I mean, we've already talked. You've got water or eggs that can be the liquid part of pasta. Yeah. What's the score on the flour department?
Well, a lot of people use double O flour, which is basically it's fine ground and finely sifted, nice powdery flour that you get
So like talcum powder?
Well, along those lines, not quite as fine as talcum powder, but along those lines anyway. It's a high quality flour that when you mix it with either water or eggs, you get a beautiful soft silky dough that's really nice and elastic and allows you to shape it properly the way you want to when you start rolling it. But people do use other kinds of flours to make their pasta. I mean, do you remember when we were in Bari doing Jamie's Italy?
Yes.
And we watched the ladies in the street in Bari making pasta, and all they used was semolina, nice, really rich yellow semolina. I think as long as you got a bit of good flour in there, you can actually add a little bit of something else. I mean, I've seen chocolate pasta where they add a little bit of cocoa powder in with the flour. Yeah, I've seen chestnut pasta where they add a little bit of chestnut flour. I mean, I wouldn't use just cocoa powder or just chestnut flour.
No.
If you mix it in with some other with flours that are basically going to work well, then you can flavour and tweak your pasta the way you like. I mean, there's a million kinds of pastas you can make when you think of all the kinds of flours there are, and then when you think of using water, I've seen pasta made with wine. I've seen it made with various types of eggs. I mean, I saw it once made with a goose egg. Yeah, man. That was amazing.
I actually saw once, when we opened 15 for the first time, we got a couple of kilos of flour on the work surface, and Gennaro sent in 4 of the biggest ostrich eggs. Oh my God. And ostrich eggs got what, about 15, 20 eggs worth of egg inside it?
I'm not really sure.
All I know is that when the customer saw me cracking an ostrich egg, they were all looking, and the yolk was about as big as my fist, about as big as a tennis ball. It was incredible.
This is Jamie's podcast. If you want to tell us what you'd like to hear in future podcasts, or post comments on this one, go to the pod blog on Jamie's website, where you can also check out photos and watch video clips from the recording, all on jamieoliver.com.
I'll tell you what, let's Gennaro, can you actually make...